It was February 1999, dark nights, fog-covered days, and the scent of gunpowder in the air. Tensions between Pakistan and India were at their peak. Since Sialkot lies close to the border, its residents lived each day under the sounds of shell fire, sleeping and waking up to distant explosions. During that time, Sialkot's Jinnah Memorial Hospital had become a central shelter not just for regular patients but for the war wounded as well. The city's atmosphere was heavy with silence. People lived with fear in their hearts, startled at every noise. A ward boy worked at the hospital. His name was Aslam. Middle-aged, thin, wheatish skin and eyes that held a strange indifference. He spoke little and always seemed lost in deep thought. To patients he appeared gentle, but some nurses were disturbed by his behavior. He would often disappear at night without informing anyone. Occasionally he was seen heading toward the cemetery, but in those tense days, no one paid much attention. Not much was known about Aslam's past. Some said he was an orphan, once a soldier, but discharged after a traumatic incident. Others claimed his entire family had died in the 1971 war, and he had struggled with psychological issues since childhood. Aslam had a habit. Whenever a patient died, he was the first to take the body to the morgue. He would carefully wash the corpse, wrap it in a shroud, and help prepare for the funeral. But that wasn't the end of it. When everyone returned from the graveyard, Aslam would begin his true ritual. In the dead of night, wrapped in fog, he would dig up graves and extract the bodies. He would carry them to a hidden cold room he had built in a long-abandoned basement of the hospital. This room, forgotten for years, had become Aslam's secret residence and lab. With disturbing precision, he would dissect the corpses, separate the flesh, collect the blood in containers, and store the bones in an old trunk. Sometimes he cooked the meat, sometimes he ate it raw. Occasionally he seasoned and dried it like jerky. According to him, the flesh of the dead, especially those who died for the country, was sacred. He considered it divine nourishment. He didn't see himself as a cannibal, but as a spiritual guardian preventing sacred bodies from decaying in soil. If that flesh became part of him, he believed it was a spiritual transformation. Weeks passed this way, but then Nurse Fauzia grew suspicious. She had seen Aslam sneaking out at night and decided to follow him. It was a cold, misty night. The air held a metallic scent, like blood. Fauzia saw Aslam crouching near a freshly dug grave, shovel in hand, glancing around. As he began to dig, Fauzia gasped, but the scream stuck in her throat. Aslam turned, and in a flash, he was upon her. When Fauzia regained consciousness, she found herself in a dimly lit room, surrounded by dismembered body parts. Some meat was packed in ice, some in plastic containers, and in one corner lay a pile of bones. Summoning her courage, she tried breaking the door when Aslam stepped out. By sheer luck, Senior Dr. Sohail happened to be inspecting the basement and heard her cries. He broke down the door, and the horrifying truth was finally exposed. Police were called. Aslam was arrested, his room was searched, and the unimaginable was found. During the trial, Aslam showed no remorse. He declared, "I only eat those who are martyrs. My hunger is only for the flesh of paradise." The court declared him mentally unfit and sent him to Lahore's mental asylum. But Aslam's horrors didn't end there. The asylum staff reported that he spoke strangely about other patients. "These mad ones, they are already dead. Only their bodies remain," he would say. A few months later, one patient mysteriously vanished. When searched, his half-eaten corpse was found in an old storeroom. Aslam, gone without a trace. After that, reports began surfacing from different areas. Graves disturbed, bodies missing. Some claimed to have seen a thin, eerie man wandering cemeteries at night, disappearing into the fog when called out. Elders claimed they had seen a similar man in their youth, during wartime, who would sit by corpses, whisper to them, and vanish. Perhaps it was Aslam. They say he now hides in border regions drawn to death and war. Wherever bodies fall, he appears for his divine meal. Whether the story is true or not, even today, some graves in Sialkot remain unusually soft, as if freshly tampered. People passing by often sense a strange odor, of meat, of blood, of something not human. But the story doesn't end there. Over the next 20 years, whenever tragedy struck and someone was buried at night, the next morning, the grave would be disturbed. Sometimes the body was missing. Sometimes only bones remained. Sometimes a human tooth lay beside the grave. In 2010, a similar incident occurred in a small village in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. A young soldier was buried at night. By morning, his grave was empty. Near it lay an old shovel with a hospital store number engraved. Investigation revealed the number belonged to Jinnah Hospital, Sialkot, from a room sealed 2 decades ago. A secret task force was formed. Months of investigation led, in 2023, to an old man caught in a Karachi graveyard, exhuming corpses and storing them in a small room. DNA tests confirmed he wasn't Aslam, but his disciple. The man confessed that he once lived behind Lahore's asylum, where a wise old man had taught him the sacred meat doctrine. That man was Aslam. His whereabouts still unknown. Even now on foggy nights, when dogs howl near graveyards, people swear they've seen a thin man with a shovel walking among the tombstones, only to vanish into mist. They say, "He's still alive. He's not a man anymore. He's a shadow."